After the pandemic, it's been quite obvious that the consumers are more used to using tech in their retail journey, whether it be online or offline. So the obvious thing to make them feel comfortable and have a better experience would be to integrate meaningful tech in their journey inside a retail store. Therefore, use of tech in designing the physicality of the retail store has become all more important.
The biggest challenge from another hurdle, I could say, is that the number of people who are providing this meaningful and purposeful technology, as well as another challenge which is also coming along with implementing the technology, is the content development. A lot of individual retailers who want to do meaningful tech, because for them budget is not a constraint, they are ready to invest money, but the biggest challenge they are facing is the content development on a consistent basis, so that there is a flow of information and also there is a flow of communication which has to happen to the consumer.
I think personalization is a huge expectation thanks to online retail, which allows you to very sharply personalize your experience rather than just having a screen. Another thing that tech does is to enable a brand to present its entire universe of offerings in a smaller space. The space has become much more precious now. Therefore, it's obvious that tech is something that will take you to what we call the endless aisle and help you, present a lot more choice to the consumer. In today's scenario, where you have so many brands vying for eyeballs of the consumer as they walk through a very busy marketplace, impactful technology helps draw attention to the consumer, and dynamic information also helps in a very short period to be able to deliver very quick brand specific differentiated messaging to a consumer to draw them into the store.
When we say technology, it doesn't have to be always very high-end, expensive technology. It can be very frugal, very minimal technology, which is extremely cost-effective, but also delivers the right effect or right solution to the consumer. So we need to understand what the consumer needs. It doesn't require always high-end technology, which most of us it goes over our head, and keep it as minimalistic as possible. So that is easily possible today.
Design process itself has gone through an evolution. It's become a lot more purposeful, where the consumer also is coming into the store with very clear purpose. One big addition in the design process is the mapping of the consumer journey. So when you map the consumer journey, then you would know exactly where digital can do something more efficiently than a human can or a salesperson can. Therefore, it's important the designer knows which technology to employ. So you can't just, no more can you just take digital screens and just stick them, here, there, everywhere, and you'll find it is there in the first concept store. There are many brands who have done that, being there in the first concept store, then afterwards everything vanishes.
Yes, ROI is obviously the direct output of conversions, but the brand will also look at it from that perspective of how many conversion. Earlier, how many conversions were happening? Now that I'm integrating technology, what is the increase in the number of conversions of my consumers or customers? So that itself will give you the returns. The prices of entire raw materials, which everybody knows, has gone up after COVID. Okay, minimum it has gone up by 20%. On some items, some products, it has gone up by 30% also. But the customer wants, the brand or the customer wants the earlier benchmark of cost per square feet delivery. Okay, so which means that somewhere there has to be some cutting down which has to happen. So the entire store is becoming more frugal, and a lot of frills are being removed.
So you have visible tech and you have invisible tech. The invisible tech, there are many brands who use tech in the store, but you can't see it. But it still serves you, like the Amazon Go store. You don't see a single tech there, but then it solves huge problems. I think we have adequate. If you look at the kind of demand versus what is supply, I think there is adequate.
Yeah. Today, I don't think we are facing a challenge. I think we have very, what do you call, evolved suppliers, I could say.
I think one of the main ways in which vendors or business partners, tech partners have built trust is having experience centers. Because tech is something which you have so much of it digitally. You have many technology so-called suppliers come and showing you somebody else's tech.
Correct.
And saying, I can supply something like this. Whereas when you go to an experience center and then see it, then you take the client with you because he's the one who's going to be paying for something. It's a large investment. The trust factor really goes up.
Today, the evolution which has happened in the last 5 years is that one, exposure to all the technologies. People have understood what works, what doesn't work, what is only a technology for namesake and what is technology which is purposeful. I think the solution providers also have evolved over a period of time. We also have a budget. We also tell them that there is a budget. This is the budget we want. The brand or the retailer is not ready to spend beyond this. So please give us whatever solution is there which is within this. So I think that understanding is more or less set.
Now this digitization, the digitization, datafication, now what is called visualization. So when you have so much of data and then you're converting the data into information which is visualized for the consumer, this is what is happening in the phone, right? It's visualization. The data is being visualized to give personalized experience. So much of money has been invested in this digitization and datafication. Now companies want to leverage that into front end.
Very, very meaningful and purposeful is the sole word which dictates what investment can go into technology.
It's all about solving pain points for consumers
and also reducing unnecessary investment.